hope you've been looking good, feeling good, smelling good, eating good, drinking good, thinking good thoughts, having a good time, sharing good energy with good people, in good places, doing good things. I just want to make sure you can hear me. Let's see what it is. Got a little commercial to go through before we can get to that. Okay. Looks like I can be heard. All right. So we're not going to be doing this very long. If you have any questions, feel free to type them in the comments. So far, what I've seen in these is that there's like freedom from an attachment. Yeah. Now you're faced with a decision. Ooh. So one of the decisions that you've made really is accepting your prosperity. And yourself as someone who deserves it, right? Ooh. All right, and you have a decision about this adventure. There was an energy of like kind of flowing well before I started. But your intuition tells you that God always finds a way, right? You're always being guided in the right direction. And you remember and know, oh, that's nice. I like the remembrance part of it, right? But you remember and know that if something is meant to be, even if there's no way, God finds a way. So again, there's that energy of not being focused, on where you're at, right? Current status, not being focused on all the steps that it takes in between, but on the end result. So it says, I will ride the tide. Just flow. Get back into your flow if you've not been doing the things that you've normally done. Be happy about it, trusting where you're being led, even when everything doesn't make sense yet. I said that already. Being happy with who you are too. Like, how you show up, not being worried or concerned about, small things like if your hair is sticking up. Let's see. And you're trusting in the divine right now as you're transitioning and that the perfect actions will be shown. Like you'll have everything shown to you. Your patience is what got you here though. Your patience is definitely what's gotten you here so far. Let me leave these where I can see them. Hi, Brady. People find you charming, collective. All right. Maybe that's what some people are obsessed about. That and then just how you look at things, overall, how you view things, your perspective. That one says speak up. There may be something that you're not saying at this moment. Ooh. Okay, so definitely keep focused on your meditation, right? Even if, again, I always say, even if it's 5 minutes, right? And typically I suggest that you do it in the morning, right? First thing in the morning, 5 minutes, that's all you need. Hi, HC AOCell, Brady, and then Chase. Hi, everybody. All right, so you're in this energy of really speaking up for yourself. Hi, Danny Bellaful. So speaking up for yourself, making sure that like that actually happened this morning. So making sure that people actually appreciate your time and respect it. That's going to be huge right now. Anybody who like, it's okay for people to cancel on plans, but they have to be clear. You know what I mean? They have to be clear and communicate that. It can't be like some flaky energy, right? Where they don't show up and they don't say that they're not going to show up. They have to actually be clear. Like, hey, not going to make it, or hey, whatever. And moving forward, you need to set those boundaries really clearly on where you want them to be with respect to respecting your time. Like, don't play with your time. Don't let anybody else play with your time. That's the song that keeps playing in my head. Don't waste my time. I don't love you. So there may be someone that wasted your time in the past, but who cares about those people, right? Now, this journey that you're on, and it's funny because this person's face is like in the sunlight, right? There's a lot of things for you to love and appreciate about yourself, like even if it's just growth. Because I know in the past I didn't necessarily see how me not respecting other people's times, like being late to things and stuff like that, would be an issue, or how it came off. But that's something that is definitely something that you are cognizant of right now, and you're aware. Yeah. Any doubts? Again, when it comes to things that like are other people's projections of like you, and things that people want to communicate to you without actually directly coming to you with it, those negative thought projections, say back twice or transmute the energy. You know, use that energy as much as you possibly can. And then don't hesitate to get involved in like letting yourself free in music. It doesn't matter whether it's like in the shower or while you're cooking or just going about your day, rock out. That's what I'm getting from that card specifically. All right, let's get a few of these oracles here, because these are really different oracles. Oh, thank you, Chase. I actually had a different hairstyle going on earlier in the week, and then at some point I didn't put it on any rollers or anything. I used to do pin curls where I just take it and roll it up and then put a bobby pin on it, but I didn't do that. And so my hair will fall flat, like it doesn't hold curls. Nice. Nice. Okay, I'll take all three of those. So this one says, all of my problems breed the opportunity for solution. Hands down, always, right? I rage, create to dominate the solutions, right? So it's like when you meet an obstacle, you're not necessarily sitting there waiting for the solution to be revealed to you. You're very much in this like free energy to figure it out yourself. So problems are our homies, our peeps, and our friends, right? There will always be problems, and this means there will always be new opportunities to creatively solve these problems. Opportunities open the door to unlimited possibility. Okay. Freedom is for those who solve the problems. Pacifiers are for those who don't. Okay. I like it. So don't be a crybaby. And I don't feel like you are collective. I feel like you just, oftentimes may wonder, like, where is this coming from? Why is this coming? Why? Why are people, so obsessed? Why are people this or that? Why are people grouchy? Anyway, I'm grateful for my body and senses, which allow me to experience the world. This person is meditating on this card. So if you're not getting into that, you need to so do that. You are an enchanting child of nature with extraordinary capabilities. You have a magical brain, heart, and gut. You have 206 bones and 640 muscles in your body, along with other organs, ligaments, joints, arteries, tendons, and tissues, all working towards your function. Your senses allow you to experience the world. Be grateful for the small things in life, like the ability to wipe your ass and sleep through the night without pissing yourself. Some people aren't so fortunate. I wonder if that's kind of like a sign. Because the other day, somebody had sepsis. Like, that's really, the best way to kind of look at things. It's like, it could be different, right? You could have, a colostomy bag. You could have, some type of element or something that would keep you from getting up, and doing things on your own, but you don't, right? So we just need to make sure that we're finding as much happiness and joy and like gladness in everything that we have that others may not. There was something that I watched recently, a video that a lady showed me, and it was of this guy, and he had a sign saying that I'm blind, please help. And it had, a little thing with change, and he was sitting on the side of the street. Someone came and changed his sign, and his sign said, today is a beautiful day and I can't see it. And it changed the perspective of the people. It's like, oh, I'm blind, I need help, versus it's a beautiful day. You're fortunate enough to see that, to actually visualize what the sun looks like, shining, all that stuff. And other people aren't. So make sure that. I get super high and I never stop peaking. That's the energy that we're very much so in right now, collective, is making sure that we are rising to every occasion that comes, right? But we're also getting high off of the negative energy, believe it or not, right? It's what we're doing with it. Like, we are welcoming it, we're embracing it so that we can transmute it and use it for ourselves. So if people want to get mad about, you showing up, you showing out, whatever it is, it's only going to keep raising you higher, right? So when your weakness is exposed and you feel like a helpless donkey strapped to an operating table, remember that you aren't the first one to be diagnosed by the peanut gallery. So that's the thing too. I had that download the other day where it was just kind of like, we're not the only ones that people, mistreat or take for granted or, stalk, think pervertedly towards. We're not the first people, that people spread rumors about. We're not the first people that, groups and organizations go after and, try to encompass their destiny or whatever it is that they be up to. We're not. This goes back way further than we even know. I posted in my community section too. Let's see. This thing about, can the occult change someone's destiny? I think that's really good one for people to kind of like tap into, because ultimately they can't. One of the reasons that they can't is because you'll start to remember through the process of enduring whatever it is that they're throwing at you or they're trying to do to you. You'll start to remember who you are and where your strength comes from. And it's all right here. It's all right here. So, and the only reason why it worked on other people and not you, collective, is because those other people didn't have any desire whatsoever to change who they were. They saw nothing wrong in the way that they were living their lives, right? Whereas the collective, it's me versus me. How can I be better than I was yesterday? Did I yell at somebody yesterday and I shouldn't have? And so on and so forth, right? So it says, expose yourself and be transparent. Reflect the wisdom of your fall back into the world. Nice. The lowest points in life are preparing you for the next highest explorations. How high can you get? Never stop peaking. If we look at people who are super successful, like I know when I'm watching videos, there's this thing that comes up for Tom Ferry. And if you hear about his story, he didn't grow up in a great household. He left at a really young age. And again, sometimes, we always hear about those stories of people who do that. Whereas we, the collective, we have endured things, but we haven't really spoken up about it. So that whole loving your journey and speaking up, that's going to be a huge part of this change that people are going to see throughout this year with you. I would say probably by March or so, you'll have things more concrete with respect to where you're going to speak up at, what you're going to be saying, and how it's going to play out. I'm just telling you. That's what I see. All right, let's see here. Look. Yeah, you're really nurturing that part too right now. You're really nurturing that opportunity. And again, any of the haters or the naysayers, look, it goes in one ear and out the other. And when it goes through, it's kind of met with this energy of like that transmutation. That's something that nobody can take away from you. That's something that nobody can do anything about, right? They can't stop you from transmuting their negative energy into something positive for yourself, right? They've got it wrong all this time. Cannot make this up. Look at this. Look at this. Really take a moment and look at this. Like you are the Hierophant in this instance. You are the one that you made the rules, right? You made the rules. You no longer wanted to play their games. You made the rules. You determined what was going to be held, at the highest regard with respect to you. You're the ones who determined that. And that's why they can't beat you. That's why they can't fight you. That's why they can't deter you. That's why you already know what you're up to long before that, right? So it's like they're playing a catch-up game. Look at that, justice on the bottom. They're constantly playing catch-up, right? That's where they saw themselves initially that made them come after you in the first place. They saw you achieving stuff. Oh, I didn't know you were doing that. You wasn't supposed to know, stupid. Like, was you really supposed to know that, I was going to take down this whole community? Or were you just supposed to expose yourselves so that we could know exactly who to take down? Aha! That's something they never think about. Aha! Who gonna check me, boo? They never thought that, they never thought that you would even give to other people or find ways to give to other people. And that's the really funny part. Can we just take a moment? I shuffle. The Justice card is still on the bottom, okay? Justice is always present in your life. So again, anything that looks like, oh, this isn't what's happening here, it's a moment and opportunity. Like I had someone that was scheduled for a reading and I confirmed the time zone and everything for them. And along the way, something told me this person, like I get all these downloads because if I'm going to do a reading for you, everybody's going to come. But nonetheless, this person is struggling. Then they messaged me long after the time that we were supposed to be doing the reading. And they're like, oh, I got busy at work. Well, why would you schedule some shit in hours that you work? Like, to me, it's like you didn't respect my time. So again, that's going to be something that we come across, and you need to set up those boundaries moving forward to ensure that people respect you and respect your time. It's not a game. It's not a joke. Take it serious because they need your help, right? They came to you, right? Even if it's somebody, working and they're getting your order wrong, you're working here because that's your job. You're supposed to be helping me. You're supposed to get my order right. Let's get chop, chop. So this is the other card that came out, the Star card. I think this is amazing. The Hierophant and the Star. It's almost like you're the authority. You are, though. Let's not kid ourselves here. You are the freaking authority. You are the authority in your life, right? You are the one that makes things happen. You are the one that treads through everything, right? And the fact that no one can actually deter you because you're so on point at this point. It's like you're so on point. Wow. And it's like everything that you pour out and that you give to others, because look right down there on that foot there, everything that you pour out and you give to others essentially gets tapped into you. They say too, the feet are the place of the body where don't wear Crocs. If you like Crocs, Google. Like understand what their material is made of. But they say that your feet, that's why people say go outside, get your feet in the grass, get your feet in the sand, to ground yourself. But ultimately, everything that you give out is actually grounding you. Everything that you're giving, everything that you're pursuing, all of these things are actually grounding you more and more. You're not missed with what you give out. It's like everything that you give out is also coming right to you without you even trying. This is really awesome. The Hierophant and the freaking Star. That is really awesome. Okay, let's see if we can get one more out of there. Yeah, I like it. I like it a lot. Yeah, baby. I like it like that. I like it like that. I think I'll do one more, then I'll open it up to anybody who has questions in the comments or wants to ask this. I love this. You're being very, very, very assertive as well with respect to like ensuring that you're always enjoying, there's no lack mindset that resides. And if there are, you figure out exactly the way to like combat that. You determine exactly how to eat, drink, sleep, all of that in this leisurely energy, right? Even if it means taking a nap. Even This is funny because there's a rainbow blowing out of this person's butt there. Oh, yeah. It's like you're just happy on your high horse. It's like you shit rainbows. I'm just call it like I see it in the cards, right? There's nothing that can be given to you that you don't. Hi from Australia. Hi, Michael McDonald. There's nothing that you will endure or encounter that you won't like make the best out of, right? That you won't be able to, I don't know. It's just like you see the very best in the world. You are the very best in the world. So why should you meet, encounter, see anything different, right? It's all those people who are stuck in these illusions and, stuck being focused on the wrong things or, stuck being focused trying to find out what you're doing. It's holding them back from what they desire. Like greedy little greedies. All right, let's see. Oh. I've been trying not to focus on this energy, but it keeps coming out. There is someone that you will have a good connection with, That this card doesn't belong in this deck. And I was confused because I was like, how long has that been in there? Because I haven't used this in it. So it's like, how long has that been in there? Maybe that person is covering themselves at the moment. You're being called to exercise. Even if this is for men, doing a grooming process, having that established, like if you've never been to the nail salon to get a manicure, you need to go get one. Okay. If you're not focused on clipping your toenails and like keeping your face shaved, and you need to be very focused on that. Some of you may even change the way you eat moving forward. And that's fine. I feel like you're game for whatever you're called to do, as long as it's with respect to the people that you're doing it with are appropriate for you to, it's almost like being malleable. Like you're a very balanced person. So you're able to kind of get with the program, if you will. And that's something that people really like about you. Yeah. Especially those who are part of this fresh start in your life. You've been given that opportunity to begin again, and you're embracing this new life and opening up fully to all the gifts that it has for you, right? What about the soulmate, Michael? So this is, I don't know if this is for you or your soulmate, but take it how it resonates. Basically, you both are meant to stand out. You just do it in different ways, right? But you're being asked to shift your focus away from material and develop a healthy inner world. And a healthy inner world could just be the person that you are at work versus the person that you are at home, okay? If you have a closet that you need to clean out, if you like watching readings, turn on the reading and clean out the closet. Don't waste the time being idle. You don't need to watch everything. You need to be taking action, okay? That's a huge way to transmute as well, especially if you feel like you've been, if it's just annoying, the things outside of you. The way that you reshift that focus is to just focus on what's at home, okay? That's a way to escape materialism. And drown out that noise, drown out that noise. Even if you have to be ritualistic with it, right? Even if you have to, say, okay, I'm going to listen to this subliminal, but I'm going to also, sweep and mop the floor. I'm going to listen to this subliminal, or, it could even just be something talking about financial goals, like whatever it is that you're into and that you're focused on, but you notice that like it's kind of taking a little bit of your energy, to like it's okay to have a dual focus. Okay. Hi, Sonia. It's okay to have a dual focus. Yeah. See, it's like that escape in materialism and releasing expectations. Things are going to come to you regardless. Some of you may be needing to do a social media detox, or some of you may be coming out of a social media detox. You're kind of letting your letting your soul glow. That's funny. If you feel called, hi James, if you feel called to get a reading, please do so. Especially with respect to any bad habits. Like if you can't really tap in and you can't really determine what it is, it may not be your ice cream nightly, that you need to switch up on. It may be something completely different and you're seeing it as, XYZ. It may not be your smoking. It could be something else. It could be, for men, going to get a pedicure, sitting at the nail salon. There's nothing wrong with that. It makes you feel good, right? Looking good, smelling good, eating good, drinking good, thinking your thoughts. Yeah. Living your dream. Live your dream. You never give up on your dreams. Dare to live the adventure. Okay, one thing I'm being guided to remind the collective of is that years ago, so I've been doing these readings probably about 4 or 5 years now. In the beginning, when it got really dark for me and I didn't understand what was really at play and what was really happening, the one thing that brought me through it was like, as long as I don't lose me, like I could lose every single person around me. I could have no opportunities, but as long as I don't lose myself, right? As long as I got me, that's enough. Because that's what they're trying to attach themselves to in the first place, right? That's what they're trying to steal energy from, right? Is you. So as long as you got you, deuces to anybody else and everything else, right? That's how you reassert yourself, right? In this lifetime. That's how you really start to live the adventure that we call life. That's how you break the matrix too. You'll no longer live in a matrix energy once you start to realize like all of it has to do with you. It's your mind, it's your heart, it's your body, it's your life, right? Think about it this way. If we cease to exist, none of that stuff even matters. So cease to exist in that matrix where their energy matters or what they're doing matters. Cease to exist there. That's really all you're being called to do. That's really how you leave the matrix and create your own simulation. I'm just being honest. That's really how you live your dream. Cease to exist. Because if it's not about you, then who is it going to be about? It becomes like something more like their own, like, you're going to find a lot of people are really wanting to be closer to you. They really want to, I'm hearing like intoxicate themselves with your essence. Sounds a little creepy, but anyway, a lot of people are going to want your kindness, but you have some boundaries set with that. I don't feel like everybody deserves it. Look, see? I don't feel like everybody deserves that, I see a lot of readers, or I don't see a lot of readers, but there are readers who say, I love you guys, and da-da-da-da, but do they really mean it? They don't even know you. I'm not trying to like, no shade, no tea. I'm not trying to be mean to any of the people that watch my channel and enjoy what I'm doing, but it's like, I love everybody. It's just a general thing. I'm that teacher that when you start the class, everybody has an A. You can only bring your grade down, right? But I'm not the type of person to sit there and say, oh, I love you, when it could be a karmic watching that I don't love. I don't have that affinity for. It's like a blankness. It's an absence. And that's fine. I saw something the other day that said Pisces are the type of people that when they cut you off, you no longer exist. It's almost, for me, it's like they never existed. Who are we talking about again? And I just sit there in that energy like, who? Because they no longer exist. They never did, As far as I'm concerned, I'm still a virgin, even though I have 3 children. And, houseway, well, because they no longer really exist in my world, They no longer exist. That's just the reality of it. So there is somebody who's kind of been a little obsessive about you. Like I said, that sounds a little creepy. There is someone who's been a little obsessive, who focuses too much on like one situation, whether it be yours or whether it be the situations that they're finding themselves in, that they no longer have you to help them make sense of, or to help them, figure out at this moment. They need to take a step back too. They need to move on with their lives, and that's clear. They won't be able to overcome any of those obstacles either until they do that. So, such is life. You had to take a step back. Like I said, you had to remove yourself, right, from whatever it is that they wanted you to be disillusioned by in order to create your own simulation. Thanks, James. What is that? Yeah. I think it's just because they say you overcome like anything that could be an obstacle, right? So let's put it into small layman's terms. You decided you wanted to make empanadas, but you didn't take out the meat. So the meat is frozen. So you quickly divert and make some spicy noodles. No biggie, right? Throw a little shrimp in there, green onions, call it a day. They see you in that energy where it's like nothing takes you off of balance. Yeah. Some of you are being called to really take that opportunity to come out of that social media detox, because this fell out and it fell upside down. There is a call for the collective to really be in this stand out energy. And again, don't be concerned about what people are going to be. They'll know and this and that, and they'll be able to see my crown. So what? Your crown is beautiful. Your crown is, handsome. It's glorious. You know what I mean? So you should be showing that. Yeah, seeing the beauty in yourself, right? Seeing all the things that you encompass, right? But the reason you're being called to, that's an obstacle for you. If you haven't been on social media, if you backed away from it, that is the obstacle for you. And if that is the obstacle for you, then you're being called to be, you don't have to post every day, right? You don't have to be on there 24/7. You don't even have to go and check your DMs, because there's a lot of weird people out there. But you don't have to do any of that. You just need to see the beauty in yourself, right? In the things that you post, right? Don't overthink it. It's always going to come to you. As soon as you see something, you're like, oh, that's cool. Post it. You're being called to come out of that shell. Right? You're being very called to come out of that shell. Again, and we're transmuting their energy. So if you feel like they're going to look at your post and they're going to say this and you're going to say that, this soulmate is really focused here. It's out here again. Maybe there's a soulmate energy that's like watching you, seeing you. I get a good energy from this person. I get this is someone who has awakened. This is too funny. Did you see that card fly out? It's like, here we go. This person has been doing their shadow work. Don't have any doubt about that. Eat healthy. I was talking about something else. Come out of your shell and get on social media. You are being told to like release your doubts with respect to that. With respect to the soulmate, I'm getting this is someone new. This isn't someone new and improved. We want someone to get it right the first time. I mean that wholeheartedly. You want someone to get it right the first time. I was reminded too of someone that I saw like briefly. Like we had a time back in that time, and there was nothing wrong with the person. Like, and I'm the type of person, like we get on the phone and we have conversations and we could be on the phone for hours. And this is just with like anybody, right? It's very easy to converse with the collective. Your mind is so brilliant, right? But in reality, what I was reminded that even if that person and I didn't have any qualms, we didn't have any issues, it was just kind of one of those things. I'm that girl that like, at that moment in time, I was learning how to detach. So it's like the last time I saw them was the last time I saw them. I don't press the issue, any of that. But there may be someone that's like that. And I'm not saying that that's someone that you should give your energy to, right? Or that you should be focused on, but maybe just more aware that that's the energy that's breeding with people who, it never got off the ground kind of thing. But you're being called to acknowledge that it never got off the ground because they didn't want it to. So if there's any energy of like, oh, well, it never went anywhere, so this person wants to come back around. No, don't do it. They already had the opportunity to get off the ground and to grow with you, right? They could have been open and verbal about, what their reasons for being apprehensive are or were, even though you already knew that, right? Even though you already knew that. So at the end of the day, if it didn't get off the ground, if the connection didn't stay connected, that's not somebody for you to go back to. Get it right the first fucking time. Period. You're ready to receive that type of energy too. They were receiving your energy when they connected with you. They were able to meditate on the connection. Again, like I said, this specific person, we had a good time. And We have really good conversations. I mean, 3 hours on the phone is a long time, but that's not unusual when you're talking with me, because we can go all over the place. Fancy gets it. Um, they may come back saying something about like, oh, they were really focused on their financial goals. Oh, okay, so why are you telling me this now instead of back then? Do you feel like what's the problem here? Were you not capable of communicating that then? It's fine to receive whatever information they want to tell you, but you don't have to hold it. You don't have to have the gift of them coming back. And again, you want someone that gets it right the first time, right? Because you probably already saw all the issues that this person had. I'm like, it's not even lunch yet. What do you mean done for the day? Let's see. Woo. Okay, so declutter. I want to be specific about this. You don't have to take the big chunks if you don't want to about this collective. You can take the small ones. If it's your desk at work, if it's your car, okay, if it's your kitchen drawer, if it's your closet, whatever it is, just take a moment to declutter a space. We're not going to do everything in a day, right? We're just not. Don't put that pressure on yourself. You're going to take the moment to declutter one space. Even if it's just your head and you're decluttering the space in your mind, you're writing things down. Tuesday this, Wednesday that, Thursday that. For those of us who have a pretty consistent schedule, write it out. Just write your week, right? On Tuesdays and Thursdays, I do this. On Wednesdays and Fridays, I do this. On this day and this day. And then get a calendar, right? A 30-day view. So that when you have those other things that pop up, like, oh, on February 13th, I'm going out to this event. And oh, on the 27th, I'm going to that. So that you can keep everything in motion. Also, if you have not taken my advice yet about creating a future budget, this is not like you have a budget for now, right? And even if you don't have the finances that you would like, you're supposed to keep a budget of, so you can see what you need, so that in the back of your head, you know what you're focused on. But you're supposed to create a future budget. If everything were perfect in my world, because soon it will be, right? If I could have everything I want because you deserve it, right? Future budget. I want to go to the nail salon every 2 weeks and get my mani-pedi. This is for men too. I want to go to the barber shop and be able to get the haircut every 9 days. I want to be able to do this and do that. So in order for you to see that vision and actually focus on that manifestation, and again, we're transmuting all this crazy energy that people have built up inside of them about you being prosperous and wonderful. So we're going to use that every time we get it. Focus on that. Every time you feel their negative energy, focus on the fact that, oh, okay, it's making my money grow. Or, oh, okay, I'm going to go on that, that trip to Guam. I don't know, whatever it is. But focus on that. But decluttering, if it feels overwhelming, find a space where it feels a little less overwhelming, because it's always going to be, something a little bigger. If there are items that you have of someone from your past that like you run into, throw that shit in the trash. There's no reason to keep it. Don't be sentimental about some stupid situation, right? Because your environment should be a sacred space, okay? A space for you and only you, and those things should represent that. I don't care if it's even like someone that you, because of their title, oh, that was my mom's this, or oh, that was my grandma's this, or that. You don't know, everything, but if you're feeling something about what I just said, get rid of it, okay? You might come across something that you need to get rid of. Yeah, there's something here about this. The bad habit is going to come through like a personal reading. So you don't have to choose me by any means. But if that's something that you feel called to do, go for it. But there's something about your rituals that you need to understand, that your guides are communicating about at this moment. Let's get a different deck. Bum, bum, bum. Yeah, be guided by your heart on who you determine should do your reading for you, okay? It should be something that feels good to you, right? It shouldn't be like, because those people usually have that energy within them, and that's why you're feeling that way. I know when I got readings from certain people, if I felt like overwhelmed by, the energy, or, confused, or anything that's not balanced, that's not your reader. And search yourself too. All right, let's do this. And this will be the last deck. Oh, we've been here for almost 40 minutes. All right, so pay attention in your own mind about what you want to focus on. Thank you, friendy. Um, what you want to focus on, what you want to mature in yourself, whether it be money, whether it be friendships, whether it be business goals, all the rest of that. We'll get a few mudras here just to help you fast forward, is what I just heard. Fast forward to those things. Yeah, consolation. Be something for you to be comforted by. Because it's almost like the universe always asks for us to do something. And I really want to take a nap in a bath. Not that we don't bathe and nap. Well, I haven't napped in a while, but I found some of my greatest moments come after taking a nap. Real talk. I used to wake up to like, can you sell my house for me? Of course. So maybe that's something. Power naps are great too, guys. Power naps are excellent, especially if you work a lot. Power naps are excellent. Ooh, burst the chains. All right. Burst the chains. Curiosity. So maybe there's even just like a little curiosity about, you know, what's coming next, where you should focus more, how to transmute, whatever it is, whatever your questions are. Says here, it's not always easy to contemplate the future with equanimity and simple curiosity. On the other hand, what other choice do we have, as we cannot know what the future holds for us? Again, it's that energy of like being here, not focusing on the steps. Like, I want to be a millionaire. Okay, you know what the goal is. You know you're not today, but you want to be in the future. End of discussion. Just focus on the things that bring you the most pleasure. Because again, we're not going to be committed to things that don't bring us passion, that don't excite us. You know, it's that saying like, doing something you love doesn't feel like work. All right. Okay. On the other hand, what other choice do we have, as we cannot know what the future holds for us? Anticipation and curiosity are good for the liver to help revive one's spirits and stimulate the production of feel-good hormones. So you can use your imagination to picture the future as you would like it to be. Picture what makes you satisfied and happy, and then be as curious as a kitten, waiting for little and big miracles every day. I like it. I like it. Listen, it says, I am the child of the sun. I accept the shadows and enjoy the sunny side of life. Because think about it, like, that's the whole understanding. Like, it can't be, you wouldn't know the light if there wasn't the dark. And for some of us, we're being called to examine the dark spots that we've healed or that need healing, one of the two. But that's that curiosity. It's a lot of luck coming from that too. Because again, if you're pursuing things that make you happy and that you're excited about, that bring you, you know, a sense of joy and contentment, and it's all about you, right? It's all about what you feel, not what anybody else feels, because they can't feel the shit for you. They're not conquering your battles for you. So, future budget too. Don't forget about that one. Balance. So balance. Well poised. All right. Our frame of mind determines our quality of life. We have considerable control over this through our thoughts. It is up to us to decide where to put the emphasis, to decide what is important and genuine, what does us good, and what gives us fulfillment. Easier said than done, right? Perhaps, but it's well worth trying. You are sitting in your boat and rowing slowly and steadily towards the dream island. Your dream island. There you can find all that your heart desires. Like I said, we're here. This is the reality. This is the simulation that we could create it, right? We've broken free from the matrix that tells us that anybody else has any control over any fucking thing in our lives, right? So we're in this boat, right? And we know that we want to go to this island. Let's call it Real Good Island. Okay? We're not going to worry about if it looks like the waves are choppy over there and misdirect ourselves. We're not going to do any of that. We're going to say, okay, this is where we're going. We see the waves are choppy. It is what it is. We're not going to try to change that. All right. And we are also going to say, you know, it's not impossible, right? People become millionaires all the time. People become millionaires really young. People become millionaires really old. It doesn't matter, right? Only thing that matters is that you desire to have it and you won't let anything change your focus. Even if that's the manifestation that you're working on, or the thing that you decide to meditate on is the money, so be it. Like I said in the reading the other day, it does not matter what other people think or say about you. You should desire that regardless. Billionaires don't desire to have less money, and that's why they're billionaires. Let's keep it 100 with ourselves. There's nothing wrong with that. There's a difference between being materialistic and desiring to live a really good life, right? People who are materialistic, it's never going to be enough. There's never going to be enough. They don't even have a focus. They just want things, right? So they want this and they want that. There's always something they want, whereas you're the type of person, you have no problem turning down things, right? All money ain't good money, right? If it's a struggle, if it feels overwhelming, if it's tiring, it's toxic, all of those things, you have no trouble pushing back and saying, this isn't for me. Gotta go. All right, can we get one more for the collective, please? Uno más. Uno más. All right. Stop. Stay a while and enjoy. Literally. Last one. This is where I'm going to stop too. So, hyperactivity is not very enjoyable. It saps one's energy and weakens the immune system. One feels like an overstretched piece of elastic, and strangely enough, one cannot even stand the peace which one is trying to find. Perform the cool down mudra as often as you can, and be careful to be aware of your breathing. Imagine an Arctic summer. Icebergs sparkle in the sun. The sea is calm, deep, and blue. You share your world with penguins, sea lions, polar bears, and so forth in calm and harmonious company. And let yourself be bewitched by the sun, the ice, and the sea. So this is saying, like, with each and every breath that you take, let yourself be carried deeper and deeper into calmness and an empty space. Yeah, don't forget your breath work. That's critical. Even if it's just kind of like you just find yourself busy with tasks, do your breath work. Take a moment. It's really detoxifying, like personally. Take that 5-minute mantra. Take that 5-minute, meditation, okay? Because it says with each breath I take, I let myself be carried deeper and deeper into calmness, an empty space from which I draw new strength and abundance. So again, if you start to feel those negative thought projections, those eyes, those evil eyes on you, that's when you're supposed to take that moment, take that deep breath, figure out what you want to transmute the energy to be. If you want it to be money, if you want it to be good weather, if you want it to be, your soulmate coming in, whatever it is, you're going to transmute it into that. Like, oh, that person that was just nasty to me at the store, that's basically signifying to me that my soulmate is actually healing something about themselves. Whatever you want to use it to transmute it to is whatever it will be. You know why? Because it's all about you. If you weren't here, if you ceased to exist, what would they be fighting against, right? And at this point in the game, you're no longer living in the matrix or this, their simulation that would lead you to believe that anything that they say, do, or try will be effective on you, because it's not your world. That's their world. Okay? All right. I hope that this has been helpful, insightful in some way, shape, or form. If anybody has any questions, accept that. Come to terms with yourself that you deserve everything that you desire in this lifetime, and nothing can stand in your way. As long as you got you, it's about you anyway, right? Okay. All right. Any questions you have, plug them into the comments. I'm going to put my cards away. I think this is super awesome, though. The cards that actually came out. These are the cards that came out. The Hierophant. That's you. That's you, Moho. The Star energy. Okay. And the King of Pentacles. This is all that we've been talking about this whole reading, too. The Hierophant is you transmuting that energy. You standing, firm in the fact that you control this shit. You control every thought that you have. You control every move that you make, and so on and so forth. We don't want to control anybody outside of us. Why? Because that's not us. It's just not for us. You're in this star energy. People are going to look. People are going to wonder. People are going to watch. You're going to start getting back onto social media just to post whenever you feel it. It's not like some requirement of life. You're going to post every weekend. Shove it up your butt. You post when you want to. Okay? And you're going to remain in this very, very, very focused on your luxuries in life. If it just means I'm going to buy up 5 cases of water just so I have abundance, I have an abundance of water, who's to say it doesn't work, right? I'm just saying, at the end of the day, wherever you feel guided, whatever you can grasp, there's no lack here. There's no lack. That's where those other people live. That's what they want you to believe. Okay? So, anybody wants to know anything else? Let's go. I can't believe this soulmate card is like, focus. You got the pre-shuffle. It was like somebody, soulmate is like, are you focused on me too? Yes, I love you. Don't trip. I still love you, but I love me first. And that's how we don't get lost in relationships, is always loving ourselves first. So exercise, even if it's not every day, do something, even if it's just the lazy exercising that you can do on your living room floor, on your bed, whatever it is, even if it's just the arm thingy jiggies, whatever it is. Let's see. Transmuting that energy. One thing I want to be communicating about too is, a couple weeks ago, I thought I got some information that was negative, right? I thought I got some information that wasn't saying yes to me. And I walked around just confirming the no, right? And I even said in an energy of like, when I get a no, I often try to see why it's a no, right? It's like, oh, it's going to take up more of my time and I could be using that for this, or I could be using that for that. So I totally talked myself out of the yes, only to find out that the no that I thought I received was actually a yes. But then when I got into the yes and accepted this offer and what was being presented, the task, the orientation, whatever it is, right? It was a no. It was a no for me, for all of those reasons that I was told to. So don't worry about any things that you may say yes to, any communications that you get that you think it's a no, but it ends up being a yes. But in your process of thinking that it was a no, you evaluated why it was a no for you, because it's going to play out that way. Okay. It's not their no. It's actually going to end up being your no. Like, no, I don't think I can commit to that now. Okay. Don't regret it. Don't feel any type of way about it. There is more than likely someone that you were meant to cross paths with on there, either be it for your own forward movement or for theirs, but more than likely it's for both. Okay. So don't be hesitant about that. Don't let it like weigh you down. Okay. All right. I hope that this has been helpful, insightful. Hey, Stephanie, you missed it. Rewind. I hope that this has been helpful, insightful in some way, shape, or form, and I will catch you on the next one. Later.